The worst night of my life. It started with a fight, actually 2 fights, one with my girlfriend, another with my parents. It was stupid. We were all just tense, tired, saying things we didn't mean. But I let it get to me. I remember slamming the door behind me, grabbing my keys, and just driving. I didn't even know where I was going. I just needed to be somewhere else. It was one of those summer nights where the air is still hot, even after sunset. Windows down, music low. Just me and the road. I drove for hours, letting back roads take me wherever they wanted. No destination, no plan. I passed through small towns, long stretches of nothing, gas stations that looked half abandoned. And before I knew it, I was somewhere I didn't recognize. Woods on both sides, barely any streetlights, and no cell signal. The only light was from my headlights bouncing off the trees. I should have turned around, but something kept me going. Maybe I liked the feeling of being unreachable, but that changed real fast. I was coming around a bend, a sharp one, when I saw them, 3 figures, just standing in the middle of the road. They were spaced out like they were waiting for something, or someone. I slammed on the brakes, tires screeching. Heart jumped into my throat. At first, I thought maybe it was a prank. YouTubers or something dressed in costume for a scare video. But when my headlights hit them fully, I saw the masks. Not Halloween masks. Not clown faces or skulls or anything cartoony. These were homemade, plain white, like papier-mâché molded to hide a face but not look like anything human. No holes for mouths, just small slits for eyes. And they were holding things. One had a bat. Another had what looked like a crowbar. The third couldn't tell. I didn't wait to find out. I threw the car in reverse. But the one on the left sprinted toward me. I jerked the wheel, fishtailed on the gravel, and gunned it down the road. My heart was pounding. I was breathing hard, gripping the wheel like it could save me. I didn't even check if they were following. I just drove. But the road twisted again, sharper this time. I came up on a narrow bridge, no guardrails, just wood and a drop on either side. Halfway across, I saw headlights. Behind me, not just lights, a van. Same color as the night. No markings. No plates I could see. They must have had someone waiting. I don't know how they moved that fast. I floored it, swerving the second I crossed the bridge, tires almost lifting off the edge. That's when I made the biggest mistake. I turned off the road. Some side path barely wide enough for one car, packed with trees and branches. But I thought maybe they wouldn't follow, that maybe I could lose them in the dark. I drove until the trees swallowed the moonlight, until the road just ended. I didn't even see it. The ground dipped suddenly, and my front tires slammed into a ditch. I hit the brakes, too late. The engine sputtered, then died. Silence. Not even crickets. Just the ticking of my engine cooling down. I sat there, frozen, staring into the trees, hands still locked on the wheel. I didn't hear footsteps, not at first, but I felt them. The kind of feeling where your skin knows before your ears do, where your stomach drops and your brain starts whispering, "Run." I grabbed my phone. Still no signal. Then I heard the crunch of leaves. Behind me, I turned slowly. There they were. Not all 3, just one, standing about 30 feet back at the edge of the trees, still in that mask, still holding something. Couldn't move. My legs didn't work. Then he tilted his head, just a little, like he was studying me. I opened the door, didn't even shut it. I ran. The woods were thick, branches slashing at my arms, thorns catching my jeans. I didn't look back, but I heard them, more than one. The way they moved, they weren't yelling or talking, just chasing, silent, calculated. I slipped once, almost hit my head on a rock, kept going. Eventually, I saw lights in the distance, not from a car, from a house, isolated, old-looking, but I didn't care. I sprinted across the clearing and pounded on the door. No answer. I tried the handle, locked. I backed away, looking around, trying to decide, smash a window, hide, keep running. That's when I heard the van, creeping up the dirt path. Its headlights scanned over me like a spotlight, and I swear, for just a second, I saw one of the masked men in the passenger seat, watching, not moving, not even blinking. I ducked behind the house, heart in my throat, waiting, but the van didn't stop. It just rolled past, slow and steady, like they were in no rush, like they already knew where I was. Once it disappeared into the trees, I took off again. Didn't stop until I hit another road. Eventually a car passed. A guy in his 60s pulled over when he saw me. I must have looked like hell, covered in scratches, sweat, shaking. He offered to call someone, but I just asked for a ride back to town. Didn't say much. Didn't even tell him what happened. I never reported it. What would I even say? There were 3 guys in masks trying to chase me in the woods? There was no license plate, no faces, no proof. And besides, nothing ever came of it. No news reports, no missing persons, no bodies found. Sometimes I think I imagined it, that maybe I overreacted. But then I remember that van, the way they looked at me, like I was a target, and the way they didn't speak, didn't scream or threaten, just chased, quietly, effortlessly, like they'd done it before. I moved not long after, changed my number, started fresh, but I still take side roads sometimes, still drive at night when I'm upset, and every time I do, I wonder, what if they weren't trying to kill me? What if they were trying to scare me, to see how far I'd run, like it was a game, and maybe, just maybe, they're still playing it with someone else right now. I hate not being able to explain something. I'm a nurse. I work long shifts at a small hospital up in northern Idaho. This happened about 8 months ago. I was driving home after a night shift, the kind that drains everything out of you. I remember it was almost 1 a.m. when I finally left the hospital. No music on in the car, just quiet. I take the same route every time, a narrow road that cuts through a stretch of forest. Not many houses, no lights, and barely any cell reception. But I've been down that road 100 times. It feels like muscle memory at this point. So when I saw the orange cones, I slowed down. There were 5 of them, dirty, beat-up traffic cones scattered across the road. And behind them, a big plywood board with "Road Closed" spray painted in red. Not official lettering, not even straight, just sloppy, like someone did it with a cheap can and shaky hands. I didn't see any flashing lights, no workers, no vehicles, just the cones. I sat there for a second, tried to open Google Maps, but of course no signal. I couldn't even load a map to check for another route. So I looked to the right, and there was a hand-drawn arrow on the back of the sign, pointing down this gravel trail I'd never noticed before. It cut off from the main road and disappeared into the trees. I should have turned around. I don't know why I didn't. Maybe I was too tired. Maybe I thought, this is Idaho. They reroute roads all the time. Maybe I just wanted to be home, so I followed the cones. The gravel crunched under my tires. And after maybe 5 minutes, I realized something weird. Every couple 100 feet, there were more cones. Like someone had gone through a lot of effort to line this detour. I passed a rusted street sign, completely illegible. And then nothing. Just trees. No lights, no houses, no signs of construction. Only the cones. After maybe 15 minutes, the road got narrower. So narrow I had to slow to a crawl. And that's when I noticed the trees looked familiar. Not in a déjà vu way, I mean really familiar. Like I'd seen that broken birch on the left side before. Then I saw the same road closed sign again. Same red paint. Same hand-drawn arrow. Same 5 cones. I thought, maybe I got turned around somehow. Maybe I looped back. But how? I followed a straight road. I pulled over and got out. The air smelled wet and old, like damp leaves and something sour beneath them. I walked a few steps to the sign. That's when I saw it. My own tire tracks. Fresh. Clear. Leading up from the direction I'd just driven. Not toward it. Meaning, I hadn't looped back. That same sign had moved. Or, someone had moved me. I turned around fast. Scanned the trees, the road behind me, everything. Nothing. No sound except the wind brushing through the trees. No animals. No insects. Just that empty forest silence. I got back in the car. Locked the doors. And this is when I started to feel it. That sick little twinge in the back of your head when you realize something isn't just weird. It's wrong. I backed up. Fast. I kept checking the rearview mirror, expecting to see someone standing in the road. But there was no one. Then the cones appeared again. Just sitting there. Not blocking the road this time. Just arranged in a line across the edge of the trail, like a row of markers. I hadn't passed them before. I knew I hadn't. They hadn't been there 5 seconds ago. I stopped the car. Didn't even turn it off. Just opened the door slowly and stepped out. The gravel shifted under my feet. And in that moment, I heard it. A footstep. Not mine. Somewhere behind me. I turned fast, heart hammering. But again, no one. Just trees. And those cones. I walked toward them. I don't even know why. Something in me just needed to see, to prove to myself they were real. As I got closer, I saw that one of them had something on it. A handprint, smudged in dark dirt or something else. Human-sized. Long fingers. Too long. My skin went cold. I backed up slowly, got into the car. Did a 3-point turn on that narrow trail like my life depended on it. I didn't even care about the main road anymore. I just wanted out. I drove. Fast. Didn't care about rocks or potholes or the way my tires slipped in the gravel. I kept driving until I hit pavement again. But it wasn't where I'd started. It was another stretch of road. One I didn't recognize. Still forest. Still empty. But the cones were gone. No road closed sign. Just a quiet 2-lane road under a moonless sky. I pulled over once I had signal. Called dispatch and told them part of the road was blocked off. Tried to describe the turnoff, the cones, everything. The guy on the phone paused for a long time. Then said, "Ma'am, we haven't had construction out there for months." He told me the trail I described doesn't even show up on the map. Like it doesn't exist. But it does. Or it did. Because something moved those cones. Something made me drive in circles. Something walked behind me. I don't take that road anymore. Even if it's faster. I'd rather take the long way through town, even if it adds an hour. Because ever since that night, every time I see orange cones on the road, I feel watched, like something's still out there, waiting, and maybe next time I won't get out. I still don't really understand what happened that night, and honestly, I don't think I want to. This happened a couple years ago when I was still in college. It was a Friday afternoon, and I decided to drive home for the weekend. My parents live out in rural Pennsylvania. Pretty quiet, lots of farmland and trees, not much else. I've made that drive more times than I can count. Always the same roads, the same exits, same rest stops. But that night, something was different. I took Route 9 like I always did. It's a long, empty stretch of two-lane highway that cuts through some pretty thick woods. No lights, no houses, just trees and the occasional sign warning you about deer. It was around 7:30 p.m. The sun had just dipped below the trees, and the whole road was bathed in this bluish haze. I was maybe an hour from home when I saw it. A dog, standing right in the middle of the road. It was big, like really big, solid black with these long legs and this thick coat that looked almost matted. I barely had time to react. I slammed the brakes and swerved hard to the right. The tires screamed, and I felt the back end fishtail a little before I managed to stop on the gravel shoulder. My heart was pounding. I sat there for a second, gripping the wheel, trying to calm myself down. Then I looked back. But the road was empty. No dog. No movement. Nothing. I figured maybe it had bolted into the trees when I swerved, so I got out to check if there was any damage to the car. I even called out a few times, like some part of me was expecting it to come trotting out of the woods. But there was nothing. Just the sound of cicadas and leaves rustling in the breeze. I got back in the car, still kind of shaken, and started driving again. I was barely 5 minutes down the road when my radio started acting weird. Static, popping, then it just cut out completely. And that's when I saw the dog again. Same spot right in the middle of the road. Same size, same shape, same jet black fur. But this time it wasn't facing me. It was standing sideways, like it had been walking across the road and just stopped. I hit the brakes again, but I didn't swerve this time. I slowed to a crawl, trying to get a better look. And right before I came to a full stop, it stepped backward into the trees. Like it hadn't even been startled. Like it wanted me to see it. Then my GPS started freaking out. The route I always took, gone. Completely wiped off the screen. The voice calmly said, "Rerouting," and then pointed me toward this side road I didn't recognize. I paused for a second. I should have turned around. I should have thought more about it. But I didn't. I just followed it. The road it took me down was narrower, older. The pavement was cracked, and there weren't any lane markings. It felt like one of those service roads used by logging trucks or utility companies, roads that aren't even on normal maps. I checked my phone. No signal. The deeper I drove, the darker it got. The trees started closing in around me. At one point, the branches were hanging so low they scraped across the roof like fingernails. And then, again, the dog, standing just ahead, in the beam of my headlights. But this time it was facing me. Its eyes caught the light in this weird, dull reflection, like old glass, not like how normal animals' eyes glow. It just stared. No barking, no growling, just this heavy, frozen stare that made my chest feel tight. I honked the horn. Nothing. I flashed the brights. Still nothing. Then my dashboard lights flickered, just for a second. And when they came back, the dog was gone. I drove past the spot slowly, checking the trees again. Nothing. I told myself I was just tired, that I'd had a long day. Maybe I imagined it the second time. Maybe the GPS just glitched. But the road kept changing. I don't know how else to describe it. Every mile I drove, things got more off. The pavement turned to gravel, then to dirt. Then even the dirt started fading away, until it felt like I was driving on leaves and roots and loose rocks. The trees got thicker. The air felt heavier. My headlights didn't seem to reach as far. Felt like the world was closing in on me. After maybe 30 minutes of this, I came to a fork in the road. No signs, no lights, just two paths, both looking equally wrong. My GPS said nothing. The screen was frozen. Then the radio crackled back to life. Not music, not talking, just this garbled sound, like a voice underwater, whispering too fast to understand. And then, for a split second, I swear I heard my own name. Connor. Not loud, not clear, but there. I don't even remember choosing which road I took. I think I just panicked and turned the wheel. The road I ended up on was barely wide enough for the car. Branches slapped the sides of the doors. My mirrors scraped against tree trunks. And the worst part? I started seeing paw prints. Not on the road, on my windshield. Like something had walked across it while I was driving. I couldn't take it anymore. I stopped the car. I just sat there, breathing hard, hands shaking. I wanted to scream. I wanted to cry. I wanted to wake up. Then, right in front of my car, the dog stepped out from the trees again. Closer this time. Its head was low, body stiff, like it was waiting for something. The fur on its back was sticking up in clumps, and I noticed something I hadn't before. Its legs didn't look right. Too long, too thin, like they had extra joints, bending in ways that weren't natural. I blinked, and it was gone. I turned the car around, forced it to back up, crunching branches and scraping the undercarriage, and I just kept going in reverse until I found a wider spot to turn around. No GPS, no cell signal, just instinct. I followed the road back, or maybe a road. I honestly don't know if it was the same one. Eventually, the dirt turned back into gravel, then pavement. Then I saw a sign for Route 9. It was almost midnight when I pulled into my parents' driveway. I never told them what happened. I didn't even sleep that night. I just laid there, staring at the ceiling, replaying everything over and over again. The next day, I tried to find that side road. I drove the same stretch of Route 9 3 times. I never found it. No forks, no gravel, no overhanging trees, nothing. I checked satellite maps, Google Earth, even asked on a local Reddit forum. Nobody had heard of a road like that. Some of the locals mentioned weird things on Route 9, lights in the woods, phantom hitchhikers, but no one ever mentioned a dog. And yet, I still see it sometimes. Not on the road, not in the woods, in my dreams, always standing in the middle of the road, always watching me,